From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. Hundreds of unusual disks have been unearthed over a period of 30 years or so in Denmark, and they are just now beginning to reveal some interesting ideas about how a Stone Age population responded to a devastating volcanic eruption about 5,000 years ago. Now, scientists discovered the first of these small carved stone artifacts back in 1995 at a Neolithic site called Rispaberg on the island of Bornholm, about 112 miles southeast of Copenhagen. Because many of these discs were etched with rays emanating from central circles, which is a recognizable image of a sun, archaeologists named the objects sunstones, though some featured motifs resembling plants or crops. Excavations uncovered hundreds more of these sunstones between 2013 and 2018 at Vassagard, another Neolithic site on the island about 6.2 miles northeast of Rispaberg. Most of the Vassagard sunstones were made of local shale. They were placed in ditches around the same time and were seemingly buried on purpose. But scientists really didn't know the reason why. Recently, researchers fit together clues hinting at a motive for the Vassagard burial. They examined sediments from Germany, tree rings from Germany and the western U.S., and frost markers in Greenland ice cores, identifying a period of intense climate cooling around 2900 BC, the time of the sunstone's burial. Quantities of sulfate in ice cores from Greenland and Antarctica, dating to about 2910 BC, suggested that this cooling followed a volcanic eruption. The eruption was one of the largest of the past 2,500 years, and it triggered more than 2 years of unusual cold and erratic weather that decimated crops across the Mediterranean, leading to famine and disease. The aftermath was so devastating that theories have arisen that it may have led to the fall of the Roman Republic and then the rise of the Roman Empire. Though little is known about the 2900 BC eruption, it is thought to have ushered in similar hardship, suffering, and death in Neolithic Denmark. This culture was not previously known for producing representational images, so the appearance of sunstones at this time hints at an unusual and highly significant event for the people of this area. Now, while the volcano's location is not known, the eruption would have spewed ash and other aerosols into the atmosphere and dimmed the sun across northern Europe, cooling the climate and causing widespread crop failure. Now, according to the study, Stone Age farmers who depended on the sun for their harvests may have carved solar designs on stones to acknowledge their reliance on the sun, then buried the sunstones as a type of sacrifice in response to the climate disruption. Depending on when the burials happened, their actions may have been a ritual to revive the dimmed sun or a celebration of the sun's return. The sites on Bornholm were not settlements, rather Rispaberg and Vassagard were both places where people gathered for community rituals. Such sites existed throughout Europe during the Neolithic period, and at Vassagard, the ditches had been around for at least 500 years before the sunstones appeared there, and all of the stones were found within a single layer of deposits in these ditches. Now, this placement suggests that they were deposited during one single event. Once chemical analysis of ice cores had confirmed a major volcanic eruption around 4,900 years ago, that aligned with the timing of these burials of the stones. The next step for the researchers was to see how this eruption might have altered the climate. Well, they found answers in ancient fossilized trees from Germany and here in the U.S. In those trees that they looked at, growth rings that dated back to around 2900 BC were unusually close together, suggesting a poor growing season. The scientists also found earlier studies of sediment layers from lakes in Germany's Eifel region, noting that sunlight was greatly reduced around this time. Communal rituals often mirror everyday habits, and Stone Age farmers on Bornholm were used to sowing seeds in plowed furrows, carving sunstones and scattering them in ditches as seeds were scattered in fields during planting season. may have been a symbolic gesture by the community in response to their climate troubles to make things grow again and make the harvest thrive and hopefully make the sun reappear. Future investigation by volcanologists could identify the unknown volcano through chemical analysis of the ancient sediments, but for archaeologists, connecting a volcanic eruption to the ceremonial burying of sunstones raises new questions about how Neolithic people interacted with the sun and how such interactions may have shaped human cultures. That's all for now. You can find more stories and regional forecasts at AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.